Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to the NTW3 battlefield. Now, with all of the doubt and fear swirling around the CA community right now, the Total War community in general, I got your back. I got some replays because I am sacrificing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just totally being lazy and not reverting over to 9.4. I haven't done any of that stuff, and thankfully, actually, for once, procrastination has worked out in my favor. Ha! Suck it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I am still doing my 9.3 replays. I have not downloaded the new patch by CA. I just go to offline mode and record replays because I don't got time to play anyway. So there's several replays, so, you know, even if you can't play, I understand there are people that are able to play NTW3 9.4. The Lords community, those guys developing NTW3, man, they are on it. They are trying to get the community, you know, get it working, get it, ooh, we have some Prussians. Wow! Ambushing some Dragoons here, some Prussian Guard. Man, they got a punishing volley off. Nice. But anyway, like I was saying, they are doing patches to try to fix NTW3 for the community. And quite honestly, I mean, I wish that they could get it to where the replays would fix, but that's not the priority. The priority is to make sure it's playable, because between the two, I'd rather people play it than me be able to record replays. That's just how it is gonna be. We have some some Swedish cavalry getting charged by some Chasseurs Cheval. They may actually kill this Swedish cav unit. Yep, they're gonna get them. Now let's go over the armies before things heat up a little too much. So on the French side, we have a 9-point France-Flanders, a 7-point France-Russia-Sud, a 9-point France-Flanders again, and a 7-point USA. On the other side, a 7-point Sweden, a 9-point Prussia, a 7-point Austria, and I believe another 9-point Austria as well. Actually, this may be a Prussia 10. I can't actually tell. But, yeah. The two French armies are 9-pointers, plus the 7-point Russia-Sud in the far right flank. And looks like the other 7-point USA is kind of funneling over to this side to support this Flanders. This is Heilsberg, the map Heilsberg, and let me just say, guys, the kills are quite insane. Pretty much everybody got well over 1,000 kills. Some people even got 2,000 kills. And the battle's close. I mean, both sides have way over 1,000 kills. That's incredibly vicious fighting. Already horse artillery from Flanders. Oh, man. The 4-gun horse artillery. Combat. This is a combat gen artillery. You know it's good. Firing already. Man, that's a punishing, fast mobile artillery. Look how fast they're firing. They are firing so fast. I'd be focusing down this guard. This Prussian guard that's now retreating. You have the French skirm line pushing up. They do have a little bit of cavalry support. No artillery yet firing at the French as they are pushing up. Oh, you can tell there's a lot of models over here. It's so laggy right now. There we go. But yeah, so we have the French pushing up on two different sides. So there's going to be a two-pronged attack by the Imperials. Each 9-pointer being supported by a 7-pointer. I guess we will find out if USA is a better support or if Russia-Sud is a better support. And of course, we'll see how each side foots it. Obviously, you have the Swedish holding this town, this river crossing. They have some infantry pushing up as well. And some hussars from Sweden who are maybe going to engage with the Chasseurs Cheval of France, but seem to be pulling back. Sweden either wants to push up and contest this river crossing or something else, but France is obviously not going straight in on this town. They're going to take the river and go across. This is usually a pretty good idea for the attackers, Imperials, to do, is get across, get a foothold on this side of the river, and then they don't have to contest very much. I mean, this open area, I guess, is a choke point, but it doesn't like Sweden is actually really prepared for a big old fight with the French, who are just going straight in. Man, a lot of really good units, Imperial Guard units. I see Voltigeurs, I see regular line infantry. I think I heard a cab charge maybe. But yeah, we have Sweden pushing a lot more troops over this direction. We've seen some elite units as well. So, you know, Russia, or, wow, I can't get my factions correct. France is definitely going to have the work cut out for them unless Sweden may pull back to this little choke point here. You see France is going to push on both sides. They kind of don't want to commit to one little island fight. We got some heavy cavalry pushing up from Sweden.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Oh, we do have a Prussian cav unit slipping in behind the lines here. Maybe trying to go for some guns, maybe a general. We're not totally sure yet. Prussia has fallen back as well. I mean, in this map, guys, you can see this river is a very highly defensible point. Now, it is very long, a lot of land for the coalition to try to cover, and a good flanking opportunity for France usually to go around the side. And also some nice slopes that the French can put infantry and artillery on. Look at this, it slopes down. It is a very good attack. Like, I mean, as far as attacking terrain goes, it is quite good for the Imperials attacking, even with the rivers. Both sides pushing their infantry and cavalry across. Definitely seeing a good cav presence defending this horse artillery. They're probably going to push it up. They have the 17th and the Chasseur Cheval cav units plus some squarables, a 33rd. I've not seen a lot. This may actually be Prussia 10. This very well could be Prussia 10, actually. Guess we'll see as more units are revealed. Over on this side, Sweden kind of still staying a little bit back. The French, I would suspect the French are going to go for a melee. At least I would go for a melee against the Swedish. But I guess you could outshoot them. You have a lot more troops than they do, but it may end up being a little bit more costly of a fight. Once Russia Sud gets here, though, which you can see them way in the background, things may go a little bit better for them. Sweden is going to be getting ready. Firing directly into the French lines. France will probably form up here and take on the fire here.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Alright, and over on this side, France is just making some steady, slow progress here. There is definitely some artillery now from Prussia. There's cavalry from that 7-point Austria over on this side as well. I'm expecting to see hopefully a little bit more cav presence here, as this 7-pointer seems to have brought cuirassiers. Oh my goodness, a lot of cuirassiers. Okay, so they brought heavy cav. I hope they focus it in the right areas, even more from Austria. It would appear some dragoons. I hope this is Austrian, not HRE. I believe it is Austrian, though. I'm like 98% sure. Alright, so we have the French. Ooh, they're sending an infantry into the LOC. The 108th pushing in to take this. We have some units stopping by the river side to shoot. Maybe support this attack if Sweden tries to counter. And the lines are firing, if you cannot see. That was sarcastic, by the way. Sorry if it was sarcastic. Gotta be politer to you guys, man. I'm in ironically. I don't know what. Oh, that was like. Oh, it's laggy. Oh my goodness, laggy. But we have cavalry charging in, and unfortunately, no French squares. So if Sweden plays their cards right, they can push directly into this line. This fight, oh my goodness, waging. Oh, that's why it lagged. It's cavalry charging infantry that were in the LOC. France, though, going straight in. Looks like some lifeguard from Sweden. But it is Grenadiers, the 2nd Grenadier Company. We have cavalry charging it against the Swedish who tried to stop this LOC. I'm trying to make sure nothing's happening over here. Oh, yeah, I totally missed. Looks like a big old cav charge going straight in. French infantry pushing forward as well. France actually going straight in for this Prussian line. I don't know what Prussia's going to end up doing on that side. But yeah, France totally caught in a melee here. Oh, this is a terrible, terrible cav charge. I'm sorry, Sweden. This is bad. going through their own units. That's going to cause some of the units to break. What?
Now they must break.
See, the cav charge from Austria. You see how laggy it is? Because there's infantry in this LOC getting charged by cav. Sweden's general has gotten killed by the friendly cavalry charging in, and Sweden mass routes here, and France now being victorious. Now let's go check over here where, oh man, France went in with cavalry. What happened here?
Glorious victories are soon to be yours.
Okay, they did break though, but still, I mean, Prussia's lost out on some of their units here, and the cavalry's probably going to break as well. It was just a dragoon unit, it looks like. And they have a lot more in the way back. Prussia can still reform from this, with Austria now pushing into the center. Over on this side, we have the other HRE, maybe? Maybe this is the HRE. I think it's the HRE, actually. But yeah, Sweden is totally collapsed in on themselves. And that was the only player that did not get a lot of kills on the coalition side. So I'm excited to see how the coalition bring this back, because they definitely got slain pretty quick there, mass routed. Russia Suds pushing in with them, and the next series of battles is going to be happening soon. Russia still holding their ground. They actually have not taken a whole lot of losses. In fact, I don't see any other units breaking anymore. They've come back. So despite what looked like a disastrous start, is not anymore. And especially with reinforcements pushing up. And actually, Austria being so delayed here may actually help. This may actually really help, because they are not going to be caught in this mass rout of Sweden. And with them pulling back, they're going to be able to reform a new defensive line. Cavalry now hovering on the French flank. The USA is still really far behind. So as of right now, actually, the coalition have good momentum, and the French can't really pursue that momentum yet. They don't have reinforcements, and they don't have enough to actually... I mean, if you look at them, they don't have that many units of line infantry here. I mean, that's 6, you know... That's 6 right there. That's another 4, so 10 units plus another 4 units here, so 14 plus 2 skirms. That's not a lot. Now they do have some cavalry support, and once the USA get there, I'm assuming the USA have a small, decent amount of troops. They have some militia, which can be very, very effective in standing in a line fight for a while, especially if they have some good inspired, you know, units in the back. More units trailing way behind. And the Russia Sud is basically all but, you know, they're very, very fresh still. They'll be just fine in the next fight. And this French army hasn't really done too much. Oh, we have a cav charge here. The USA charging against some Crossiers. Surprised that those Crossiers are actually going in for a fight here. It'd be better to save this cav for enemy infantry than the cavalry. But yeah, you can see Austria is actually pushing across the river here. They have that nice cav support. Oh, don't waste your cav. Well, they broke them. A lot of skirm fire happening here. The Swedish have been broken out of that LOC as well, so this whole side definitely... This was decisive against Sweden. I mean, poor Sweden tried to stand against the French in a melee and did not work very well. Unfortunately, the French, maybe if they'd moved a little faster, they could have caught this Austria who's moving back, as they have a lot of L4s. L3, L4. But now, you know, they can still push in this flank with 2 fresh armies, and maybe even come in behind this Austria who's just now forming up for the attack. France is actually marching to meet this. They are not falling back. Interestingly enough. See, the coalition maybe could afford to... Uh-oh, we have some skirmishers going to get... Oh, never mind. The Prussians charged in with some lancers to stop those dragoons in their tracks. Some Chasseurs gonna try to charge the flank of those lancers. This is where Prussia could actually get a really nice flanking charge or flanking volley on that Chasseur Cheval unit. And they form a square. Ooh, that's not good. And the countercharge by Austria. See, what these guys should be doing is going for the USA. Look at how easy it would be to break this army. If they went right in right now here, and then went in right here, oh, they could break. Now, there is some squares, but those squares will not hold up very well. Right now, Austria, I mean, this is all hidden. They have to know there's a French army descending on their flank. I mean, let's look at the grand scale of things. You see the coalition holding here, right? But they have a French army literally walking in almost behind them.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
This is crazy. Now the French are breaking to the concentrated volleys of the French, or the French are breaking the concentrated volleys of the Austrians. You can see the wavering. Maybe time a little Austria to fall back across the river. You have the other Austrian army, actually, or maybe this is HRE. I haven't decided yet. It's gonna really matter. I'm always wrong when it comes to that sort of thing. Okay, interesting. We have a bayonet charge going straight at the French flank. Oh, France's center's looking very weak. If they charge in on this French flank, it's over. Just charge the flank. Come on. There we go. Oh, wow. Austria seems to be going in two different directions now. Going for the French, who've pushed a little bit closer here. You have still some Prussians versus French. Heavy cav charge smack into the 33rd. Did not form a square. That is going to be a disaster for this poor French line. The French are not dealing well with this artillery and cavalry of the coalition. Now, they do have a foothold on this side. Austria has had a little bit of a break here. And you can see the rest of Austria all of a sudden has realized the danger. A little maybe too late. I guess we'll see. Unfortunately, France, I mean, if the coalition had some cavalry, not the coalition, gosh, the Imperials, if they had some cavalry, they could charge in and get a huge mass rout. Now over on this side, you have another fight here. France, though, they're not looking as good. The 7-pointer has, for the most part, pushed across over to this side. They actually could destroy this 9-pointer with the numerical advantage they seem to have. Nice artillery position to drive back the French. This could go very well for the coalition now. You have a nice flanking attack that can push across as well. The only problem is this Austria is now going to be set upon by the French, who've already gotten a foothold over here. We do have a cav charge going in for the French. Going for their artillery. Oh no. They may still make it. Nope. This is very messy. Definitely very, very messy. Both sides seem to have units every which and way, but there is a lot more French still to be thrown into this fight. I think they can still do an excellent job against the coalition. I mean, with France falling back on this side, they could fall back to this river if need be, even fall back across and defend that river crossing. LOC still held by the Prussians, though. And now we have a cav charge. Oh, the 34th getting run down and broken here. As the French are starting to push with the USA support, and then more from Russia. Sud pushing across. Has a lot of French infantry that's yet to really engage. We have some Landwehr going for a bayonet charge with some cavalry support. Oh, the French could get thrown back here. Wow, the French are actually getting thrown back. This whole attack on this side, I mean, they have USA support, the Kentucky militia pushing forward. Austria holding this river crossing, the Russia Sud pushing. And this Flanders still falling back. They could actually get to this choke point and have equal numbers with this Austria. This got to delay the action until this French army pushes across. But, I mean, this Imperial push has gotten totally stalled out, guys. It is not doing well. The Prussians are even going on the counter-offensive. Oh, they're so close to the horse artillery. I'd limber that up. That could make it. It can make it. Limber them up. Get them out of there. Putting a lot of faith in that. No, don't run your cav either. Just walk them. Here we go. The line fight now. Austria in it. And Austria is definitely going to be an okay force to get into a line fight here. Wait, did the 9-point Flanders over here crash?
Sir, our general is under attack.
Ooh, I think this 9-point Flanders crashed. Yeah, they did. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, they didn't have much left, quite honestly. They have one artillery piece, plus a couple cav units, plus 1 or 2 units, so, you know, I guess the cost efficiency isn't too bad. We do have the French cavalry and infantry. They're trying to go for another melee here. And cavalry charging in the square there. Oh, a line fight once again. We will see how well the French can get in on this melee. Actually doing quite well. The French, I mean, Austria needs an inspire here. The French cav charges are not very effective, though. They're not very good. They're blobbing up a bunch and getting stuck on a square. That's messy. If there's an Aspire from the general, they can stop this whole thing dead in its tracks. Now we have a river fight. Russia Sud can definitely, they have the mass to stand in this line fight for quite some time. And the USA too, as that's all that's left, they gotta wait and see if France Flanders on the other side can defeat the enemy. I am a little concerned that Austria is making a sweep in motion here on the flank, and the USA has already pushed across. Unless they got units that can defend this flank, they are going to get outshot here. And looks like we may actually have a movement across the river. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. A lot of troops charging all sides. Bavarians. Austrian Grenadiers. Oh, Russian Grenadiers. Looks like a Suvorov-style unit. And France is in trouble. Now, if they can get some units flank charged, and then they got more Austrian cav just waiting to catch that flanking bayonet charge. Over on this side, France was winning this fight. It looks like they've broken some of those units, but Austria is charging in the back. What? How did this happen? Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte has been killed. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. Bonaparte is dead. And that is going to spell some huge defeat here as France Flanders now, it just mass routes. That flank is over. This whole side's looking very messy now. The coalition actually getting thrown back by France, Russia, Sud. Over here we have more Crossyears that charging against the USA. This flank over here, this left flank against Prussia, holding. But barely. Prussia looks like they are tightening the flank line as they're getting more and more forces lined up against the USA. Now this is the huge break. Russia Sud has held back this attack, and they can actually start pushing across as nothing's facing them. France pushing over here against Austria. Austria, though, they won. They won huge here, guys. So they are now going to roll back over in this direction. And Russia Sud's going to be facing another army. I mean, they beat one. Let's see if they beat back another one. Things seem to go on decently well for them, despite the loss of Napoleon. I'm seeing a lot of units running. I wouldn't encourage running necessarily. I mean, it's going to exhaust your troops pretty quick here. It does look like the USA is pulled back almost across the river. They're tightening their left flank a lot more. They're trying to hold, guys. I mean, this militia is so hard to break in a line fight. It's just, you know, 300, 400 men. These USA units are just so small. They look like they're wavering already. But you see the French have pushed across the river here, and there's not a lot in their way yet, but the Austrians are going to be, what is going on here? Oh wow, oh wow, Austria went for a countercharge, smacking into yet another French unit. I mean, this heavy cav has just been disastrous for the French. They have not had anything really to counter it very well. But France is pushing in the center, very weak looking. The left flank looking good for the coalition, but the center looking bad. So I guess we'll see how the French, you know, deal with a Austrian army defending on their flank. I mean, they could try to defend this river crossing, and or just pull everything and decide to try smashing through what remains of this coalition over here, and then having a united front with the USA to turn and face the Austrians. The only problem is they need to take this LOC. Okay, what building got taken? Oh, wow. Well, I guess we kind of expected that. But the fight going for the river still... Oh, horse artillery. Oh, no, horse artillery. Just regular. Are these 4-pounders? Oh, my gosh. The canister against the French. Dropping them. Thankfully, they're not super close, but still. I want to see how this fight goes. This could tip the scales back in favor of the French. They can beat Russia. Okay, they took it. Now, surprisingly, Prussia has a reserve line here. This is definitely Prussia 10. Yeah, I'm saying this is Prussia 10. You correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I have no problem conceding if I'm wrong. But Prussia still, I mean, they've lost LOC, but they have plenty of forces still around here. And France is getting spread super thin here. The 7-pointer, he has troops on basically, I mean, he's the strongest army at this point. Both France Flanders are gone. And, you know, the 7-pointers are what's trying to stop this fight from being a total loss. When you're when the low points in the field are the ones who have to, you know, stop and win the battle, yeah, probably something happened. Nice flanking fire by Russia as France goes in trying to stop the Prussian aggression onto this island, as Prussia seems to be actually pushing across now. Now these 4 units could probably be better used over on this side. There's not a whole lot they're facing, and I see a heavy cav unit that's resting up that's going to be ready to descend upon the Russia Sud pretty quick here. More Austrians pushing up here. Man, that's a big old artillery battery. I don't remember catching that one dying. There's so much I know I haven't caught, guys, and I'm sorry if I don't catch it all. You know, that's the problem with 2 different sides of a battlefield going at once. I don't know, also I don't get as much cinematic shots anymore. Used to be the biggest priority for me. I didn't even care about all the action, but the strategy of this side is just way more beautiful in some ways. Oh, wow.
Our men are running.
Look at both sides so close to each other. The USA, I believe the Kentucky, no, Louisiana boys. Oh. That's a bit of a little bit of fimming, unfortunately, that happened there. And it does look like the USA may be on their last leg. Oh, they're getting plagued by the masses. They're just so much. And France may finally be getting pushed out. Process of elimination. French League, they went for a, oh no they didn't, a heavy cav came in rolling in and just routed all 4 of those Russia Sud units. And that's going to probably be, that's been the story of this entire battle, just the heavy cav dominance by the coalition, just managing to throw their weight around. And unfortunately a lot of the French just don't have squarables. Oh man, artillery. Yeah, at this point it does look like the French do not have what it's going to take to win this battle. They have run very low on men. Not sure what's happening here. A misclick, maybe? I'm assuming that was a misclick. USA have a couple units left. Now maybe that Flanders crashing or, you know, whatever happened there, that may have actually helped in the long run. I'm not sure if it was a crash. I'm assuming it was just a crash that caused that France-Flanders to just break. Maybe they would have done a lot better if they hadn't crashed. Who knows? But still, you know, it was so unfortunate because Sweden broke so fast that it really looked like the coalition were going to just win it in a landslide. But the coalition managed to bring it back. That counterattack against France-Flanders just worked very well. I don't think France-Flanders had enough troops to go into melee against this Austria. They did not have the men. And that ended up just not working in their favor. There's still a little bit of fighting happening here. I didn't see a lot of good cavalry either for the Imperials, though. I saw a couple good Dragoons, but nothing compared to the heavy cav that the coalition had. Usually those crosshairs that France can bring, super helpful. Unless you're bringing masses of good quality infantry, which they definitely had the mass, but I don't know if they had good quality. And honestly, looking at this side, so the Prussia brought 2,500 men. One of the Austrias brought 22, and another one brought 17, and then Sweden brought 1,000. The other side, Russia Sud brought 3,300 men, and the rest brought 14, and the USA brought 17. See, Russia Sud definitely, I mean, you saw them in a lot of places. I think they actually got almost the most kills, only followed by the France Flanders on this right flank. And France Flanders ran down a lot of Swedish troops. So maybe the bringing more mass.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright, France seems to be going in for the bayonet. Oh no, they should have kept charging a unit there. Defend that flank. And you see, this is going to be the beginning, or the end of the end here. I'm just going to hit the fast forward button. There's 1 or 2 scattered units here, but that's about it. So a coalition victory here.
Our men are running, sir.
How long was this? Was it 35 minutes? Okay, so 10 minutes more than the video yesterday. But yeah, though, the coalition took the field. I think the cavalry they had was huge. I saw a lot of cav charges against the USA, against Russia Sud, against France. And I do not think the coalition, that the Imperials had enough cavalry to counter it. And that may have been what lost them the battle. But unless something happens, I'll just skip to the end so we can see the results here. Alright guys, so that was the battle. As you can see here, we have the results. So you have Burma as one of the France Flanders. I'm assuming he's the one against Sweden with 1144 for the kills. You have, man, the pixels are really bad. PT, I'm just going to say that, 1104. He has Russia Sud. You have other France Flanders with Pan, 538. He's the one I'm assuming who crashed. And then you have, I can't even read that. The pixels are so bad. Gren as the 7-point USA with 1033. On the other side, you have Friedrich, 412 as Sweden. You have Hotspur, 1881 as Prussia. Sky King with 2123 for the kills. And you have Naken as the 7-pointer with 1338 for the kills. So definitely got their kills worth out of probably the cavalry. And they took the field. So, anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe. And as always, I will catch you all in another video.